stuff Taj Mahaler, and we are headed to Supercell West in Buena Vista, Colorado. We've got about 1,400 miles to do. Today we've got about 990 left to go. Monster Mike is my co-pilot this morning.
What's up, everyone? When do we plan on being at the show?
We should be there tomorrow morning, which will be Tuesday, sometime around mid-morning.
So, Tom, there's a lot of windshield time here.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. It makes me think about, our first Broncos. What started it all? What was your first Bronco?
First one I owned was a 88 Eddie Bauer.
An 88?
88 Eddie Bauer. It started off, it was originally my dad's, and he bought it, ordered it in, and then, of course, I drove it and beat the hell out of it. Loved every minute of
So you didn't start with an early?
it. No, my folks did, though.
Okay.
And they started with a 69 U14 and Caribbean turquoise.
Oh. Now, was that your mom's or your dad's?
Depends who you ask.
Was it like your dad bought it for your mom?
No, it was like mom bought it and then dad destroyed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And there's a hell of a story for that one.
That's so yours, what color was yours?
Mine was brown.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, Sequoia brown.
So mine was a 76 and it was also brown.
Oh,
And also, you'll never guess what I named it. Brutus.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And I bought it with 33s, lockers, 2.5 inch of lift. It had the soft doors and top, so it kind of had the old man vibe to it.
Yep.
But it was two-tone. It had the white fender flares. And then, of course, root beer brown.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why you didn't tell me about the name before, because you know what my next project's going to be.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, wow, Brutus, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you say that your most memorable moment is in your first Bronco? Or is there another Bronco out there that got that?
Most memorable moment, which probably goes back and hooked me on the earlies, wasn't my Bronco, but it was in a friend's Bronco. For the earlies, I was probably 15, 16, and one of our neighbors had one, and it was a 74 that he put a 351 in it. And he was running around on 44s, and we would take it out. And back in my hometown of Florida, we had this area, we had these Pioneer Day runs where we would go show up in this area, and it was just basically these huge drainage ditches where they all converged and made this really marshy area, and it was called Hourglass, and we'd go out there in mud. And I remember seeing that truck where, everybody else brought whatever they could, and that Bronco just went out there, you could see it up to the windshield and water and going, and it was awesome.
Oh, that was a great story. Anyways,
Putting you to sleep, huh?
dude, too many details.
Oh, well.
What was it about the story that made it so great? Did you like pop your cherry or?
No, it was just watching that truck run against everything else that other people had bought. And that truck did more, better, faster, louder. It was
Nice.
It was a badass truck.
And what year was it again?
74.
Man, I tell you, the first gen Broncos, they just seem to be able to do everything. I mean, and do everything well.
Yeah.
Because my Brutus, they would go out and they would save other people's vehicles, that were stuck out in the mud or in the rocks or broke down or something like that. So what made that moment memorable is the fact that it was able to just basically outdo any other vehicle that was out there doing what it was doing. And it did it with style too, huh?
Yes,
Sounded
they did.
badass, looked badass. Is that what really hooked you on Early's?
Yeah, I would say so. And then knowing my folks had one, and
Yeah.
it just went on. Always liked the Bronco.
So you could say Broncos have been in your family and your life for how long?
Since my infancy.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the most memorable moment for me, because there's a lot of life-changing moments that surround Broncos. I mean, they absolutely changed my life.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of a more of an emotional side, like how it connected me to other people, and just makes me think back of like, wow, that was like epic or my favorite. And if I had to choose just one, I would say back in 2012, I'd only had the Bronco for a year. I was already just crazy about Broncos from the little bit that I figured out what they could do. And I went to the Bronco event in Arizona called the Arizona Stampede. And there was a couple of guys that knew the area really well, and they coordinated a pub crawl from the event grounds all the way up to Crown King and Cleater, and stuff like that. And what was really neat about this experience is that my Bronco actually wasn't even on it. I broke it so bad from that whole week of just having fun in the rocks that we did the pub crawl on Sunday after the event was over. And we got to experience every type of weather imaginable in Arizona in March.
Wow.
Because of the elevation we were in. We were literally drifting around snowbanks on the side of mountain passes, doing the back, because you're crawling from like Cleater and Crown King on back roads.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we did this with a group of guys and girls that were just really, really neat people. And the guy I was riding with, Paul, he was just crazy behind the wheel. So he was drifting around and around these roads. And we had snow fights. We built snowmen. We snow wheeled. We got some of the most amazing Bloody Marys. We had a couple of really cool pictures that we took that we wanted to make t-shirts out of because they were just so neat. And to this day, I think about that day and that experience. I went, that right there was what it's all about. Want to get some pancakes?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to IHOP and get some pancakes. What do you think, Bailey? Time to run the Taj Mahaler. Hey Tom,
What's up?
you know, while we're driving through all this Colorado,
These wind farms?
yeah, a lot of wind farms, a lot of rolling hills and long wheatgrass.
A lot of elevation.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me this. Of all the Broncos out there in the whole wide world for the last 54 years, is it 55 years? 55 years. Yeah, 55. What do you think is the most famous Bronco, aside from, of course, the Monster Garage Bronco?
Oh, of course, but
Yeah.
I'd say Big Ole.
Big Ole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why?
It's a famous Baja Bronco. It won.
Okay. But is it really a Bronco?
I think there's some legitimate debate on that. It's got Bronco skin. It's definitely got Bronco DNA.
Because, you know, there's another Bronco out there that also won Baja.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a real Bronco.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Okay, well, I like your answer. I'm not saying that it's not a good one, but there's so many other ones out there that over the years have also done some amazing things or have just been in really incredible builds.
Yes. Quite a few.
So, I want to know from the people watching this video what you think the most famous Bronco is, and leave a comment below and let's talk about it. Because, sure, Big Ole is definitely up there. In fact, what I like most about it is that it was recently sold and acquired by a private party that is been sighted in California at like Cars and Coffee, just out enjoying their new ride. I'm a little suspect of the tires, but
Yeah.
other than that, I think that's really neat that he's getting out there and driving it. I think you should take it back to Baja.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat in Big Ole?
No.
I've sat in it twice. Made motor sounds.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I got another question for you, Tom. Of all the products that James Duff and Lick Creek Restorations has worked together on in the last couple of years and developed and now are out there for people to buy, what is your favorite of all of those?
It's a toss-up because there's so many great things that have come out, but I'd say at the top of my list is definitely the T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms. Yeah, the bolt-on arms that correct caster and give you back stability and control and wheel turning radius and don't require any welding. Come in really awesome powder coat colors like black and Duff signature blue. Those T-Rex arms,
Those very ones.
the ones that you can install new James Duff MS 2020 shocks with and James Duff coil springs and get the best driving, best handling, best ever Bronco experience.
Absolutely.
The ones that you use to develop the lift we all affectionately call the Duck Tough suspension system. Those are the ones you're referring to?
Same ones.
The ones that also come from the very popular James Duff extended radius arms. Same DNA.
Yes.
That's a pretty good one. I mean, if I'm going to have to choose second best then, because I think that's probably my first choice too. But, you know, there's also things like, you know, the Lubra alignment plates You know, like if you've got a lifted uncut Bronco and you put those 31s or 33s under it and they're just kind of rubbing a little bit on the fender, the louver alignment plates readjust the axle back or forward and also give a little extra lift so you get the right rake and stance. Those are pretty sweet because they're bolt on too.
Yep.
Or the door check straps, the modernized way your early Bronco doors open and close, and keeping them from shutting on your leg or your hand, or coming around and swinging into a tire and denting your door. Those are pretty awesome. I think my second best favorite new product that's come out from James Duff and Lick Creek Restorations is the stock tire carrier assembly. Because I think it's really cool that, you know, if you want to lift your early Bronco and run 33s or 35s, you're not going to want to do that with a stock tire carrier assembly. It's going to take a lot of heavy toll on that body, that quarter panel. And I like that one. That's a good one. I think it's really cool that it just bolts in and then you just slide your stock bumper right in place. No drilling, no welding, just bolts right in and then mount that 33 or 35 inch tire. Honestly, I've seen a 37 inch tire on there. I think it's doable. I just would be, you know, a little concerned about, you know, getting too rowdy. But I think it could handle it. And you know what? I want to know, for all you people watching, what do you think is the coolest new product that James Duff and Lick Creek Restorations has come out with in the last couple of years that's enhanced your driving experience on your early Bronco? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think as we take this drive to Buena Vista and arrive at the Super Celebration here out west. Beautiful.
Nice work.
Just like that.